Pikachu?
Ah, jeez.
Oh, how quickly we forget. Before Sonic, before Minecraft and Mario, there was one movie that broke the video game movie curse first. Detective Pikachu. The film that finally gave Poke fans the world over a look at Game Freak's monsters in a real-world setting. But more than just a fan service Easter egg hunt, what if I told you that this movie could teach you a thing or two about psychology? Rise up, GG Nation, because it's time for Guidance Guide Friday, your digital guidance lesson from your internet school counselor. And today, I'm going to show you what connects Detective Pikachu to the 5 stages of grief. Let's go! It's guidance time.
Run!
Before we get started, I gotta give props to Jakeem for the inspiration for this GGF. So yeah, I do take requests, and if you want your idea to turn into a GGF down the line, just drop a comment and let me know. And of course, low kick the like button and pull a submission on subscribe so that this video becomes super effective in the algorithm. Even if you don't know anything about the stages of grief, I'm willing to bet money that you know at least 2 of them: anger, depression, denial. And Detective Pikachu has a character that symbolizes every step in this journey in coming to terms with loss. And we're going to start with the first step, denial. This is when the person who's experienced the loss is straight up capping about the whole situation. It could look like acting like you don't care about the person you lost, or actually believing that your loved one isn't gone. Denial is not being honest with yourself, your situation, or your reality. And there's one person in Detective Pikachu who embodies this trait, good old Tim Goodman. Now, when I say he's in denial, he's not just denying that his father died at the beginning of the movie. He owns up to that. It's just everything else in his life. Listen, even though the title of this film is called Detective Pikachu, old Tim here is the protagonist. But bro's denial is so strong that we have a main character with NPC syndrome. Instead of living his dream of becoming a Pokemon trainer and taking on the world with his team of Pokepals, Timmy's over here selling insurance. His soul wants to be Ash, but his life is giving Jake from State Farm. No, not that one, this one.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
Homeboy wants to be the nameless guy in some random town that has no real impact on the world around him. And even as the story moves along and Tim is essentially pushed into a story he really doesn't want to be a part of, he continues to live in a cloud of ignoring his needs and wants. He keeps insisting that he doesn't want a Pokemon partner. He puts up a front about not caring about his dad, and when he meets up with the news intern Lucy, Timothy cannot bring himself to admit that he's catching feels. Everyone else can see that Tim could be a great trainer, that he actually cares about his father and his yellow mouse pet. Everyone except for him. So Tim actually knows what denial looks like. A lifelong cap about your life and yourself. If you find yourself at this stage of grief, understand that this is normal. Just make sure you don't stay there. Pretending that a loved one didn't pass away or that a loss didn't happen is not healthy. It only prevents you from healing. And all of these steps will bring you to healing. Even the next one we're going to talk about.
We're losing power in the containment chamber.
Now we got anger. And we're not going to spend a lot of time on this one. You already know what anger is, and I want to deepen your understanding of this emotion. Have you ever wondered why you get angry? You might say it's because somebody annoyed you, because something didn't go your way. That might be the case. What if there was more to your anger than that, though? Watch this quick scene of the first Inside Out to see what I'm talking about.
That's anger. He cares very deeply about things being fair.
Did you catch that? A lot of the time, we get angry because to us, we've been treated unfairly in some way. And when talking about loss, this makes anger look a lot more logical. Yes, you're mad at the fact that someone close to you is no longer with you. It's also that you feel that this person being taken out of your life was unfair. Maybe it was an illness or an accident that no one could have prevented. When you feel that the universe has wronged you, that's where the second stage takes effect. In a Detective Pikachu, this is shown in the founder of Rhyme City and Clifford Industries, Howard. To the public eye, Howie is a friendly and visionary creator of this city where Pokemon and humans live together in harmony. There's not a bad bone in this man's body. But when you get him alone, away from the cameras and the press, you see another side of him. You see that he's still dealing with a loss himself. Not the loss of a person, but the loss of his ability to walk and use his body. Confined to a wheelchair, Howard is still mourning the loss of his body as he knew it. And though he's not yelling and throwing things, at least not for most of the movie, you can still feel the contempt that he has for his situation. He always talks about his situation as being confined to this chair. And you can tell by his tone that he's not happy about his predicament. In fact, his anger is so strong that it turned him into the ultimate villain of the movie. But as any real Poke fan knows, the leader of a big corporation in a Pokemon game is almost always the bad guy. Just like in real life. Anger, rage, whatever you want to call it, it's an important emotion. It's our mind's way of telling us that something isn't right with our situation. We just need to be careful about how we use it. Just like how knocking someone over isn't the answer when you're upset, neither is staying stuck in anger. Science has shown that those who hold on to anger tend to be not only less happy, but they're also less healthy and get sick more often. If you're angry, feel it. Just make sure that you don't hurt yourself, anybody else, or let that anger run you. Bargaining is a little more complex than the other stages. On one hand, it could look like someone begging God or a higher power to save someone from a situation in exchange for that person doing something massively big. It could look like someone's loved one is sick in the hospital. If someone is saying that if their loved one gets it out of there in one piece, they will go to church more, or change job, or some other massive life change. This is the classic definition of bargaining. And you might be wondering, who in Detective Pikachu was bargaining, and with who? Well, the answer to that one is right in the name. That's right, it's the Shock Mouse himself who's wheeling and dealing. And it's not who you think it is. That's right, the bargainer in Detective Pikachu is not the "what if Deadpool was a Pokemon" character, but the original Pikachu. Let's go back. Tim's father Harry and his Pikachu are investigating the R chemical that's turning Pokemon into rabid beasts that attack anything that's in front of them. They get in too deep and discover that Clifford Industries cloned a Pokemon and created Mewtwo. Chaos ensues, which ends with Harry and Pikachu getting into an accident. Thinking that his partner isn't gonna make it, Harry's Pokemon, a basic Pikachu, tries to save his human partner, only to run into dollar store Frieza. Pikachu then makes a deal with Mewtwo. Let Harry's mind live in his body so that Harry can live. Yes, super crazy stuff. But listen, this is a video game movie. Don't get caught up in the details now. Somehow, the man-made Pokemon is able to do just that, and that's how we end up with a Pikachu that sounds like Ryan Reynolds. Now here's the problem with bargaining. Like denial, it's just another way to avoid reality. What bargaining does is that it gives you the feeling of being in control without actually being in control. In this stage, you believe that if you do some crazy amazing thing, then the universe will reward you with an equally amazing result. The truth is though, you never had control. If you did, would you have let this situation happen in the first place? Bargaining is both sneaky and dangerous. It fools us into thinking that we can change reality just by making a deal, and that's just not how life works. You have to take on your situation, whatever it is, exactly how it is. No excuses, no negotiating, just dealing with the facts. It's difficult and it hurts, and it's the only way to come to terms with the reality that you're living with.
Falling to our death is not one of us!
For our last two stages of grief, we're gonna go back to T. Goodman. Depression and acceptance, like anger, are pretty easy to spot and understand. Depression happens when you've admitted to yourself about your loss. The person that passed away, the life that you once had and you had to give up. Once you admit your situation, that's when the mourning and sadness takes over. And for Tim, we saw it when it happened. After spending the whole movie acting like his dad's Pikachu was the worst thing to ever happen to him, finally was able to admit to himself that he cared about the electric Mickey Mouse. And he was finally able to admit this just in time for Pikachu to almost kick the bucket. While escaping a herd of Gigantamax Torterras, Pikachu takes a massive hit and looks like he might not make it. I mean, he would have if Timmy had just been a real trainer and packed a Hyper Potion with him, but no! In this moment, Tim's not sure that he's about to lose another important figure in his life, and all the emotion that he's been holding back for the whole film finally escapes, and it allows him to feel the fear of being left alone, the sadness of losing the last living reminder of his father. And it's intense, because grief can be intense. Just because it doesn't feel good doesn't make it bad. Just ask any mom if childbirth felt good for them. That's a pain that some people call indescribable. After the pain though, after all that comes brand new life. When we allow ourselves to feel that sadness, it brings us closer to the last stage, acceptance. Spoiler alert, yeah, it's a little late for that, but you're still watching. Detective Pikachu didn't meet up with Arceus in the Great Viridian Forest in the sky. He actually survived. He's actually saved by Mewtwo. And by the time Tim and Pikachu solve the mystery and save the day, Tim has come to terms with what happened to his dad. Now, I want to be clear here. The acceptance stage is not about getting over the loss or being okay with it. Grief and loss is not like the flu, where you're sick for a little bit and then you get over it and then you're fine. That pain might come back, maybe during that person's birthday, or the holidays, or just some random time. And that's okay. It doesn't mean that you've gotten worse. It just means that whoever is still gone still matters to you. And that's a great thing. Acceptance doesn't mean you never think about the person. It means that you're able to continue living with that person's memory being a part of you. And Tim is able to do that by the end. And if you're going through grief right now, you can get there too. You need to give yourself time, be patient with yourself, and be honest with yourself. Lastly, the 5 stages of grief aren't linear, like going through levels in a game. You might go from anger to depression, to bargaining, to anger again, to acceptance. It depends on the situation. Just be honest with yourself and connect to those who care about you, and you will be able to live on. Detective Pikachu did more than break the video game movie curse. It gave us a blueprint for how we can move through loss and come out the other side. Pokemon has made a massive mark on the gaming landscape, creating a legacy that will never be forgotten. Although, there's another game that's been taking the world by storm, and there's actually real-life lessons that you can learn from it. Want to see how you can make your life better through Fortnite? Come check out this video to find out more. See you there! Got it, Sky out.